In regards to my Hexicuter project, a lot has changed since my last video. So today in this progress report, I will review the updates and changes made over the past 6 months. So if you enjoy what you see and want to see more, like, comment, and subscribe. Also, feel free to join my Discord server if you wish to share your projects whenever Redstone or anything else. We have a rather small but friendly community, so yeah. The link to join is in the description. Anyways, let's get right into this video. Now, the first change I'd like to go over is the CPU. Now, as you can see, this has been rebuilt, and compared to the older version of the H1G2 CPU, this one is much smaller, much more compact. And if you want to see like how compact it is compared to the older model, well, here's a side-by-side comparison. And the newer version of this CPU works more or less the same as the older version, but there are a few minor changes, a few minor add-ons I made to this one, and as you can see, here are the flags, and instead of 5, there are 6, and the 6th one is the carry flag. Also, the general layout of the different I/O ports are also quite different, but that's mostly a cosmetic thing. But yeah, that's this out of the way. There isn't entirely much to say about this, so let's just move on. So, in the last video, I briefly went over this chip right here, but I did not really go too much in depth with this or tell any of you what this actually does. Now, but I did mention that this does contain the computer clock, but I didn't really talk about any of the other circuits in here, so I'll just go over that because I believe it's important. Over here, these two circuits right here are basically the only other things contained within this chip. So this first circuit right here is just a 2-bit binary counter, and that's connected to a decoder. Basically what that's supposed to do is it's supposed to cycle between the different CPU decoders and enable the certain instructions connected to the decoders. So basically this is really the computer's control unit, since it's basically in charge of controlling how a program is executed. But it turns out that I won't actually be using this chip in my computer after all, or my series of hex computers that I may build in the future, because I believe it's simply not really compact enough. So if I'm not going to be using my old control unit design, then what exactly will I use instead? Well, before I get into that, I would like to show you this. So what you're looking at right here is the Hexicuter PC-1, which is my brand new hexadecimal computer that is still a work in progress. It's about 95% complete, and pretty much all of the chips are installed on the board, and all the redstone is pretty much done. And as you can see, we have some things that I have already covered in a previous video, such as the H1G2 and my brand new RAM chip as well. But there are, of course, plenty of brand new chips that I actually haven't gone over. So I will just spend the rest of the video going over them right now. So first off, we have a brand new multiplexer, which takes the inputs from the flags and outputs a signal based on if that certain flag that you're selecting is true, and that output will just run into this. So this is my computer's program counter, and it is basically just a hexadecimal counter which counts from 0 to 15, or 0 to F, and it also supports conditional and non-conditional jumping. This right here is just a simple random number generator, and this is the brand new control unit. As you can see, it is much smaller compared to the older version of my control unit because it uses basically the same program counter used in my program counter chip over there. Except instead of counting from 0 to 16, it only counts from 0 to 3. And of course, that also connects to this red coder right here. Now, the only thing missing from this new control unit compared to the older one is the clock. And that's because that the clock is actually its own separate chip, which is right here. And if you're wondering what this empty space is, this is where the program memory is going to go. And this right here is the output display for my computer. And probably in the next video I will certainly explain how this thing works once I actually fully complete this computer and program it. So yeah, stay tuned. And lastly, this is just a simple keyboard for my computer. It just allows you to input data into the computer so that data can be processed and then outputted onto the screen. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed my little progress report video. By the next video, I will have this computer completed, and I will run some test programs on it just to see if it actually works. So if you want to see that, make sure to, again, like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you all in the next video.